Yeah.
Is it going?
Yeah.
Okay, we're moving.
Yeah, we lost about 18 minutes of footage due to an unexplainable glitch that we saw. So,
Anyway, I think all that happened after I left off was finishing the remainder of that conversation where Smokey and Blood challenged us to a duel in the forest again.
yeah.
Fortunately, you missed like the bad handwriting in the letter they left,
Yeah, I think that's it. They just...
or the bad spelling.
They had, very bad spelling capabilities.
Well, the handwriting was probably crap too.
Yep. You're not wrong.
You know, before I finally realized they were like doing the...
Yeah.
I used to think that was... I used to read it like, in my head.
Titchy.
When you read, it is like titch.
Pitch. It's just like doing a little tongue.
Yeah,
click.
I didn't realize that was like the spelling for that sound.
Oh man, that's too bad. You know what that means? We lost that content where you were talking shit and lost.
I wasn't talking shit. I was just saying I'm not that badly beaten up.
He's like, man,
Like they said.
if this was Resident Evil, I wouldn't even be holding my side.
Well, that was true. I didn't say I wouldn't, go to danger and beyond after that. Now, did I?
Oh, now you're starting to sound like me when I was sitting there like, I'm never wrong.
Oh, yeah, in between this episode and the last, Jay and his wife were deliberately having, like, an argument because they were like, we're married, it's what we gotta do.
Yeah, it happens, man.
And Jay was just like, Lantis was like, never wrong.
Nope.
And so I was like, yeah, but there was that one time. He goes, what? And I said, now you may not want to remember this because you were very, very wrong about it.
I was in fact very wrong about this.
And I said it was like the first debate we ever had since we first met in school. And it was like, and I had this other dude on my side at the same time on the first day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember how we got into the conversation, but
we're eighth graders talking about video games, of course.
Me and Bo were like, well, yeah. But I mean, it was like the first time I ever even talked to you, if I recall.
I think I approached you and was like, hey, do you like Chrono Trigger?
Yeah, that was probably it. But like me, you and Bo were sitting at the table, and just suddenly me and Bo were like, it's all about PlayStation in the PS1 versus N64 debate. And you were like, no, it's N64. You guys are nuts. And I was like, you changed your mind after a year or so.
Well,
and you have never looked back.
No, I mean, I've never, argued that PlayStation was not better than Nintendo 64, but I absolutely do appreciate the Nintendo 64 and the things that it had.
I just mean, never look back in terms of its 64
The Nintendo 64 was definitely, the party console. It's the one you played with your friends. With your friends. You had your Mario Karts and Mario Parties and all this, that, and the other, your Wave Race, and just there's a lot of, social things.
Okay, so the first time we went through this, because, again, we lost that footage, Lantis and I discovered a technique for the first time ever, even though...
Don't do your full combo. Just do the first hit.
Probably between probably between the two of us. I was probably about to say between... the Chwu. Between the Chwu or something like that.
Me! Ree!
Yeah, me! Ree! Everybody who knows Darkside Phil will probably know that. But anyway, between the two of us, over the time we've known this game, and we pretty much first played it when it first came out, it may be 10, 20 times or so, right?
Yeah.
If you're counting each...
Yep.
Each time you played as Mint or Rue as a full game.
Yep.
All that time, we never realized that it was actually a viable strategy to just hit one at a time instead of doing the full combo, because I was always like, well, you either got to jump at him, because and risk, being pushed back off as, from the rebound and the hit.
Yep.
Or you do the full combo and you just walk right off the platform before you finish it. Nope.
Nope, just delay your hits and only do the first hit.
And it actually made him quite easy.
Mm-hmm. Last time we were like, what? It makes you a wuss for blocking a core mechanic in a normal combat?
He's like, haha, because that means you were scared. That
no, it's
you were gonna
defensive maneuver. This is what you do in a fight.
I'll bet you were so scared you wet yourself. So I was like, in order to be a real man when in a fight, that means you cannot ever be defensive. Otherwise, you're a wuss.
And this was also the point where he started talking smack about how not hurt you were.
Okay, you know you're only just doing that because you're sour about the fact that I brought up the times you have, in fact, been wrong in the past.
I wasn't wrong this time, though. My wife was calling tiramisu cake, and it's not cake.
Gosh.
It's not. It's not cake.
Who freaking cares?
It's important.
Okay, I heard a weird... Was that you or was
that?
that...
was you. You were tapping your foot, and it was rocking the chair a little bit.
I wasn't tapping my foot that fast, though. It was like...
Yeah, well, I was doing it twice per foot tap.
It actually sounded like it was happening in the game. I couldn't tell for sure.
And speaking of, I'm like I got a scared twitch now where I'm keep looking over to OBS. I'm like, please keep recording.
Actually, then that made me look, did I actually hit record this time?
Yeah, no, it's going. It's going.
Yep, steam and hemoglobin beaten once again.
Steam and hemoglobin. Wait, that just barely made it onto the last recording. I think.
Did I buy the stuff yet? No, I didn't.
No,
So
okay, you still didn't sell the legendary pan.
yeah, it's like worth 5 monsters.
Yeah.
So it wasn't exactly the biggest find.
And at least we don't have to waste time going to Rod because we know he doesn't have a new...
Actually, no, I want to see if that was just a fluke or not when tried transforming into the most recent monster from the mountain.
To see if you can't face tank and hammer his face.
I just keep forgetting that
Final strike? What is final strike?
Was that my, charge?
Hold your shift button again. Hold triangle for final strike.
Oh, well, I can't hold the... Oh, I forgot to,
Heal.
Yeah. Well, see, remember we mapped the buttons differently,
Well,
so
yeah,
I couldn't tell whether that was the X or O, but holding either of them didn't seem to do anything.
Triangle. Oh yeah, I don't know what triangle is anymore because we mapped it.
I think it's square. But either way, whether I press square or X, it didn't.
I don't know, it just sounds really cool because it's called Final Strike. That's like a Final Fantasy limit break. And I know it's not going to be that. That one was deliberate.
It's... Okay, so yeah, I guess I didn't hear that part. That was from...
Yeah, that was in the last recording.
I just heard Jay just make like this... like, him breathing hard out his nose. I'm like... Was that like subconscious anger at the fact that we're about to have to, see a scene with Prima Doll again?
Yeah, because I didn't even know I did.
He was like, yeah, it probably was. I mean, I didn't realize it at first till you brought it up, but...
Yeah, but no, I did it on purpose this time. Just to get a laugh, at least out of him.
Dude, I don't know what it was. I just now realized what it was you were eating all this time, and I was like...
Bananas.
Is that like the dried fruit?
Yeah, it's dried. Yeah. It's dried bananas.
Dude, I don't know what it was, but when I was a little kid, that, like, my grandmother, takes my sister and I to like the Sears at Hamilton Place Mall. You know Hamilton Place Mall. You remember that, right?
Yep, of course.
Like the Sears there had like this, I don't know, its own like candy shop. And when I went there, it's like I wasn't about the chocolate or really anything sweet. I was all about the dried fruit. That was mostly what I got.
Hell yeah, man.
I was a weird kid like that.
Actually have more dried fruit up there. I have bananas, cantaloupe, and pineapple.
I gotta say, was never a fan of cantaloupe.
Well, all right, just throwing it out there, like
Dried cantaloupe probably actually
dried
tastes
cantaloupe
better.
is great. Regular cantaloupe is really, really bland, and like it's so weird how not of a flavor it is. Like to the point where it's kind of gross, just because of
Yeah, it's like the kind of blandness that somehow tastes gross,
yeah.
even though you're pretty sure it's due to it being bland, which means tasteless.
But it's like dried and like slightly sweetened, and now all of a sudden it's amazing. Nah,
Because
my
I
tank
would-
is empty.
I would like to. I'm just gonna cut in like one from the scene, the
Oh,
dinner table scene of Nutty Professor.
There you go.
Right there.
Yeah, I haven't been paying attention because we've already read this once, and I don't care to entertain Prima Doll's shenanigans.
You know what? That's good. Don't encourage him.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
feed the troll.
But it's so hard, man. It's hard not to feed the trolls. Because it's like your justice sensitivity is like, no, they can't get away with being that way. I must protest. But you can't protest.
It's like, even though in her own way Mint is acting real childish here, I can't help but be on her side every time she fights with Prima Doll. He's friggin' obnoxious. He's the only character who sucks
Yep.
in this whole game.
Yeah, now my cone is clean. I'm talking squeaky clean.
It's like, I like Mint, I like Rue, I like Claus, I like his wife Mira,
Yep.
I like Elena. The Master guy, well, I don't know, maybe Trap Master kind of dumb, but
I mean, he's like the...
definitely not annoying.
He's like, if you watch My Hero Academia, he's like Bakugo. He's like the always angry, like, Shine!
The only thing I remember about My Hero Macadamia Nut is the just the pink girl with the weird dark eyes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like her for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen any of it though. We watched like some My Hero Academia movie or something during movie night one time a few years
Oh,
ago.
yeah. Oh, and what, the Mag Movie Night?
Yeah. But like I didn't know anything about it. And I just came away going like, hey, well that pink alien chick's pretty cool.
Alien chick.
Or just the alien looking,
Well, like, are you talking about, like, I can't ever pronounce her name, like, Ururika or something? Like, Midoriya's girlfriend or whatever? The one that can,
See,
like...
I don't even remember who Midori is.
The main character!
So I can't even answer your question.
Deku, the main character.
Well, pushy there, ain't you, Prima Doll, and your demands?
So,
But yeah, it's like he's all hopping around. He's like, I'm so awesome for it. And Mint's like, whatever, you're just hopping around. Well, it's more than what you can do, Mint. No, you're just a doll. You think hopping around is impressive? A human can do way more than that.
Mm-hmm. You're feeding the troll.
We have more complicated motorized abilities. I probably didn't need to say that right. Well, you know what? I'm still smarter than Prima Doll.
Ear. Just, come on, do it, man. Just index.
Yeah, we
finger.
were like, when we're like, okay, well, we'll find a way to get you like mobile again. It's just like on her before she goes up the stairs on her way out the door, man, she just go like poke him with her finger.
Index finger on the forehead and make him tilt backwards. Can't do anything about it because he's a little piece of shit.
And then just run out, not say a word. We were like, no one meant. Instead, she'd do like the kid from The Simpsons, the bully that keeps pointing and going, ha ha.
Yeah.
You know what I hate, by the way,
Prima
speaking
Doll?
of that? Well, besides him. But I was like, speaking of The Simpsons, no matter what, no matter how many times I say, don't recommend this channel, don't give me videos like this, friggin' videos about The Simpsons, South Park, and Family Guy do not stop coming
Really?
up. They don't stop.
I do not have that problem at all.
And I'm like, at what point have I expressed any interest in this? I'm actively telling you I'm not interested in this. I don't know. I just have something against all those kinds of anime shows.
There was a time in our lives where that was the thing. Like, we watched many episode of Family Guy back in the day, but like, I don't know. We just grew out of it, I guess.
Well, that and I don't know. There's something about like that quality animation that just pisses me off looking at it. Again, like in The Simpsons, Family Guy, and South Park are prime examples. I know you don't really watch it for the animation quality, the art style itself, but still, I can't stand it. And again, eventually, I just kind of came to feel that like Family Guy is like the anti-humor.
It's crazy.
And South Park, we were never about that.
So, something you might want to try. I don't know if we're sitting here like going over like YouTube debugging or whatever, but like what you could do is go, once you're in YouTube, go to your history. There's a search feature in your history. Type in each of those shows, and if anything shows up, if there's any results, there's a little X at the top right of it, and click it out of your history, because I know that one of the things that YouTube does key off of is your watch history. So if at any point that shit is in your history, it might be coming from that. I'll show you when we're stopped recording.
Okay, but I mean, I've like cleared watch history completely before. Wouldn't that do the same thing?
Yes, it would.
And I mean, I'm just mean like they show up on the main page, like for like recommended video. I don't actually like click on them and watch them, but I think they do count as watched or something if like your mouse pointer is so much as hovering on it for a second to where like the thumbnail kind of starts, playing just silently.
Yeah.
I think they count as watched, and
I hope not.
And I mean, it really should not bug me. It really shouldn't bug me at all. Like, even if I hate the shows, but just something about just seeing them constantly pop up. I'm like, I'm not a fan of this. Leave me alone.
All right.
And like with Family Guy, well, I don't know why I was ever a fan of ever watched The Simpsons at all as a child. I don't remember being like, a total fanboy, but it's like now I look back, I'm like, all this sucks. I don't like it. No, I don't like it.
Oh, it was the style at the time. This is where we realized the recording was not working. And I'm still glancing over every now and then out of fear. Thanks, OBS. You now got me scared.
It's like even this music. For the theme for like a character like Fancy Mel, and I actually like it.
Yeah, man. Soundtrack is
Yeah, speaking of, I'm gonna have to say, like, Sea of Stars, it didn't have like a legendary soundtrack like, say, Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy 6, 7, 8, 9,
or Cross, or
that kind of thing. But it was like the only song I think like I didn't like at all. And it's not like it was just obnoxiously bad. It's just like, okay, this is a little bit intrusive. I can't just, sit here and listen to this, for a long time on end. That song was the one in Songshrew Marsh. Do you remember that dungeon? That had like they weren't supposed to come off as creepy, but they inevitably do. Like some of those mushrooms, like those gigantic mushrooms hanging around, they had like this happy face on them.
Yeah.
And it was just unsettling. It's like, okay, I understand this is not supposed to be creepy. And in a way, I'm not. In a really weird way. But if it's cute at all, it's like creepy cute. In any event, I don't really want. I'm tired of coming across these things, and just that song played on a loop the whole time. Like it didn't even get interrupted for battle. It continued through battle too.
Gotcha.
And I'm just like, hey, it starts off okay, but then like it just keeps adding on layers and layers of like instruments, and it just becomes like just too much like sensory overload.
Man, you want to talk about like disappointing music? There was a game called Hi-Fi Rush, which was like Devil May Cry, but also a rhythm game, right? And it was super cool, but like they're like, oh, it has a lot of music from a lot of people, right? And maybe I'm just an uncultured swine, but the only two like artists I really even recognized was Tool and Prodigy. They had a Prodigy song and a Tool song, and the rest...
Okay, I know the names, but I guess I was never into Tool or Prodigy because I don't know any songs off the top of my head from. Can you name any?
I think the more common one would probably be the Tool song, which was The Perfect Drug. You are the perfect drug.
I thought that was 9 Inch Nails.
Was it 9 Inch Nails? Oh shit! I better not be wrong about this. I'm so sure though. There's no way. That wasn't. It might be. Oh shit! Oh no! Perfect drug. 9 Inch Nails. Shit!
Why are you so... What's wrong with being wrong about that?
I don't like being wrong!
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, it was 9 Inch Nails and Prodigy. The rest, and I even looked up the track listing, and like, I really did not recognize anything else. But the other thing is, like, only like half the game had like
that's not gonna work.
had, you know, artistry, like music from artists. The rest was just like in-house from the game itself. And it even got worse than that because they had to implement a streamer mode that took out all the licensed music because, you know, Twitch would start banning people for playing licensed music, which don't even get into the huge fucking debate about like what is or isn't copyrighted material, or like what is you breaking that copyright. I don't think you playing a video game that happens to have that music counts as you breaking copyright. You're just playing the fucking game.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously no... There's not even like the illusion of ownership on your part. Just
right. It's not like you're saying, yeah, I because I'm playing this game that has this song from 9 Inch Nails, that, yeah, this is my song now. I am claiming this as my song. It's stupid.
I'm actually probably really lucky that as many videos as I've done on YouTube, which had a variety of just like songs I was playing from my personal, you know, playlists on the computer while playing like other games and stuff. I'm probably lucky like so few of those have been flagged at all.
You know, I'm really surprised.
And I think only like 1 or 2 in all these years were actually like taken down, like the copyright thing was like a, you know, the owner of this does not allow this to be played at all, so it's going to be taken down entirely.
Most of the time they don't want to do that. They just want to make sure they get your ad revenue.
Dang.
You got smoked. But yeah, so streamer mode in Hi-Fi Rush is, it just plays the in-game music and takes out all the copyrighted music, which is, I think, is ridiculous. There was actually another game before it that also had a streamer mode. It was the Guardians of the Galaxy game, which, I mean, if you know anything about Guardians of the Galaxy and the MCU, is the, you know, like, they play a lot of licensed music from like the 80s, right?
Right.
That's just like the bit that they do in the whole movie. So in the game, they also do that. But you know what they did in streamer mode? They just let the scenes play out without any music at all.
That's dumb.
Like, it was just silent in huge set pieces where it's playing like something from Wham or something, and it's dead silent.
Well, I think in the case of Wham, I would prefer dead silence.
Wham is fine. But
but I get the point.
Like it was the. Oh, I get this. At the end of the game, you beat the final boss, right? End of the game, right? The characters, you know, they're doing their like walk of victory, right? All of them are standing together, walking down a corridor. All the people that NPCs and friends that you made along the way standing on the side, they're cheering you on, and you're like slow walking, raising your fist, pumping it in the air to the music that doesn't exist. They're just silently walking down this corridor, and it's making nary a sound. And like, this is what copyright is doing. There needs to be. Man, I'm like. I said,
you're on one now.
Yeah, I was about to say I shouldn't get onto this, and then I immediately got on it. God, I got started. There just needs to be a reform. There needs to be a huge overall reform of copyright. It is no longer protecting the person who owns the copyright. It's predatory use on the copyright by the copyright holders. Something needs to change. Okay, I'm done. Thank you for dealing with that. Yeah, Sea of Stars had good music. I liked it.
I think its biggest strong point was pretty much every dungeon was like really like it was like Chrono Cross. It had one of the things I really think is good about Chrono Cross, a lot of fascinating places. So like dungeons, towns.
Yeah.
Yeah, the few towns in Sea of Stars were really nice, and dungeons were generally quite fascinating, beautiful places to explore.
So just because, all right.
And I gotta say this, I was actually disappointed in all the dwellers that you fight after the first one, because after that first one, I was like genuinely creeped out, like the multi-face, like kind of twitchy ghost-like thing, the Dweller of Woe.
Yep, the Woe.
I had to say it
like Stewie.
Yeah, so like I was like, dang, if I fight more dwellers after this, you know, imagine what they're gonna look like. And so everyone after that was actually very disappointing. Like the next one, the Dweller of Terror or whatever, was
I didn't think they were disappointing.
Was like a giant ape.
I don't think they were as cool as the first one, but I wouldn't say they were disappointing.
Yeah.
Good. Glad to know you have pain receptors.
Honestly, why would well, I know the guy was basically evil, but like why would he create his dolls to like feel pain? It just kind of seems like a pointless feature to add.
Well, maybe you know what? No, you're right. You're right. That's just weird. That's weird.
I mean, I'm not defending Prima Doll here. I mean, I'm actually kind of happy that he bumped his head and it hurt, because he's a little shit. But
he is, in fact, a little shit.
Oh, really, Klaus? Because I see you just sitting on your butt not doing anything.
He's got a bum leg. Fuck you.
I don't see him working with his hands.
What?
I don't see him doing anything. And I just now noticed that, dude, the book's in the background.
Those are big books.
I just now noticed that.
Those are some big old books.
It reminds me of like the monastery library stages in Final Fantasy Tactics. It's like the books are like five times.
Like there are tiles that you stand on. Each book is like a tile, and if you're doing tiles like in Dungeons and Dragons, each tile is like a 5x5 foot square. So like, if that was adopted into FFT, that's a big ass book. Prima Doll sucks.
So yeah, back to Sea of Stars,
Yep.
because that makes me think about the next game I started playing after that, Diofield Chronicle. Like, I'm into it, but it's not very good. I don't know how else to say it.
I mean, it's fine.
I don't know if it'd be your thing, because you didn't like Ogre Battle Episode 5, and I said it's kind of like that in that it's more like, I don't know, I guess playing chess. But the thing is, you can choose like attacks that your characters do.
Yeah,
it's more like you
not a fan of auto battlers.
But it's more like their abilities you have to use conservatively, and it's more like just position them in such a way. I'd pretty much go for like, there's always going to be like just 4 guys on your team with 4 support that you can use to step in with a different ability instead of them for the moment if you want. But the guys who are out there on the front line with the HP, and when you drain them all to 0, it's over. There's 4 guys. And there tends to be like, battles tend to have like 15 to 30 enemies so far that you have to fight through. So I tend to go for like because they'll usually appear in small groups of 2 or 3. I tend to go for like direct all 4 units that you're playing as to this one enemy, gang up on him, take down his HP as soon as possible so you can get to the next with generally minimal loss. Sometimes strategy works, sometimes not. Sometimes you really got to kind of split up, divide and conquer, but I don't know. I'm saying I'm enjoying it. I just don't think it's a great game. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, I've been playing some interesting games lately. I recently played a game called Leica, and it's
sorry, but so battle-wise is more like Ogre Battle Episode 5. Story-wise, it's a lot more like Tactics Ogre.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind.
Okay.
Story's pretty good.
Tactics Ogre, yeah. Tactics Ogre is pretty good.
And that's really political.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, Leica is... Do you remember back in the 360 arcade days of, the Xbox, right? Do you remember a
it was good
franchise
stuff.
called Trials HD? Or Trials in general. It's a motorcycle game where you go over some like crazy terrain and you got to keep your motorcycle. Yeah,
vaguely.
You got to keep it level. It doesn't tip over. Someone made an entire Metroidvania in the style of Trials, where you actually have to like keep your bike balanced the whole time, and like you immediately die if you don't. And it was
say it.
I want to be a wannabe minister of housekeeping.
No, I was waiting for you to say something like, shouldn't you be more like the minister of stupid or something like that?
Yep, that's me. I mean, she is in fact dumb.
You know what?
You're really thinking about this, aren't you?
I'll amusement. Actually, what was Claire's occupation living out in the country?
I have no idea.
Did she have a farm or something?
Probably.
Or did she just live off the grid as a hunter-gatherer, didn't actually have a profession of any sort? Alright, now... yeah. Ruth said it.
Is Claire checking out Mint's ass?
Yeah, I think so. You mean Elena?
Elena, yeah.
It's like, wait, Claire's right here?
Yeah,
well,
no, I got...
Then the game's over.
Yeah, no.
We won.
Wrong person. Well, I mean, Claire's dead, right? Like, she's just dead. All the way, no way she's alive.
Gotta go. Pew! Alright, let's go ahead and call it a video right there, right after we save, just in case something screws up just by me clicking off the screen.
Ooh.